Hello everyone. Today I'd like to give a speech on something we all know and love, technology, specifically screen time. We live in a world that is dominated by screens, let's be honest, but it's crucial that we consider how much time we spend on them and also the effects of our excessive screen time. So I want to start by saying that screen time can be about many types of technology, from your phone to your TV to your laptop for schoolwork. But I'd say the most common one we are attached to is our phones. So with that, just off the top of your head, I'd like you to guess how much time you spend on your phone each day. It's typical for this number to be in hour increments, so how many hours do you think you spend on your phone each day? So once you have that number in your head, think about, of that number, what apps do you use the most? When you have your answer, go ahead and pull out your phone. Most phones should have a section in the settings where you can see your screen time and a breakdown of how many hours and what apps you use most daily. So compare your guesses to what it actually was, and I'm sure that the answer will shock you because it shocked me. So now that you have your personal statistics, we can look at some American and general statistics. So the average American spends 4 hours and 37 minutes on their phone each day. And these stats vary with age. For example, an elderly person is not going to spend nearly as much time on their phone as somebody, say, in their 20s. So this goes along with all screen types as well. So it can be the computer, TV, or phone. It all adds up. So your screen time can be extreme. There are actually some serious physical and mental impacts of excessive screen time, and I'd like to start with the physical impacts. So screens emit something called blue light. I actually have a filter in my glasses to protect me from this, which is you can probably see the reflection in them. This blue light will actually cause serious eye strain, and it's especially prevalent, if you scroll on your phone before you go to bed. The blue light will mess with your sleep cycle, so it'll cause some trouble falling asleep and then actually staying asleep. So I suggest putting your phone away maybe an hour before bed just to help with your sleep cycle. Studies also show that excessive screen time can contribute to obesity. This is mostly due to their lifestyle choices, and the poor sleep also plays into that as well. There's also some serious mental impacts. So research shows there's a correlation between excessive screen time and anxiety and stress levels. So think about when you're online and you compare yourself to someone who looks better than you or someone who lives a better life than you. This is a big factor in many young people's self-esteem diminishing, which is a huge problem in this day and age. I think we are all aware of that. We also see increased isolation, and that isolation leads to depression. And I don't know if any of you are aware of this term, but when you spend so much time glued to your screen, you can feel what's called brain fog, which is essentially just this spaced out and distance feeling nobody wants to feel. And with the brain fog, another big thing is the effect that all of it has on your relationships and your interactions. I mean, we all know the difference texting on our phone can be from having a face-to-face conversation. And we kind of lose that real-world connection and have a difficult time communicating effectively. I also wanted to ask, do you feel these effects? Do you feel these things? Think about how that can relate to your screen time. How much put two and two together. So now that I've showed you all the negative effects of screen time, I'm sure that you can get a good picture in your head of what benefits of reducing screen time could be. So when you reduce your screen time, you'll of course see your relationships improving, your connections becoming stronger. You can see an improvement in your communication skills and how you deal with your face-to-face interactions. And probably my personal favorite, the best of all, you will see an increase in your productivity. So all of that time you spent mindlessly playing on your phone or locking in on that video game or just brainlessly scrolling, you can instead put it towards productive and helpful tasks that can be focused on self-improvement or creativity, like finding a new hobby. Put your time and effort to things that actually matter. So there's some pretty common arguments when you tell someone that they need to reduce their screen time. I'm an advocate for reducing screen time. I tell some of my friends, that they need to do so, and I normally get, well, I have no choice. Most things I do involve a screen. How am I to just make this change? I totally am empathetic with you on that. I understand that different types of technology that you use and what you use it for really depends on, your life, what life you live, what your job requires, if you're in school and you need to be on your laptop, whatever it may be. I'm not focused on reducing that required screen time. I'm focused on reducing the unneeded screen time, so the excessive screen time. Your goal is to reduce it all overall. So if that means cutting your phone out or cutting your computer out, depending on who you are, so be it. Just focus on reducing the screen time overall, no matter your situation. To cut this screen time, I have a little bit of advice. So if you don't think you can just cut cold turkey, as people put it, where you just say, okay, I'm going to stop using it now, and you stop. If that's just not in the cards for you, totally understandable, don't do that. I suggest just slowly reducing it over time. Like each day, you spend a little less time on your phone until you get to a decent level. So this level of usage is entirely up to you. I suggest no more than maybe 3 hours. That's my personal goal. So you can slowly reduce it to that set amount of hours, or you could just set the bar straight off the bat, say, I only want 2 hours on my phone from now on. That's fine. You can set that limit mentally, learn when to turn your phone off, or most phones actually have a feature where you can set a screen time. So you can go in there and either your phone will shut off completely and won't let you on it, or you can set some apps to have a screen time. So like TikTok. TikTok is a big thing with phone addiction. Put a limit on that and it'll shut it off after 2 hours. You won't be allowed back in. Super, super helpful when you're trying to quit. So you can, when you actually go through with reducing your screen time, like I mentioned, phone addiction comes with withdrawal. So you're going to feel this hole when you stop using social media or stop scrolling or stop using your phone in general, playing games. You're going to feel this hole there, kind of this void that you feel needs to be filled with stimulation. Your brain has to be focused on something. And you don't want it to be productive, where you don't have anything productive to do. Well, okay. Instead of doom scrolling, pick up a book, start a new hobby, do something you've been putting off forever, learn new things, whatever you need to do to just flip it, get productive. Fill the void with something good. My last slide, just do it. This is my call to action for you. The decision to make the change for yourself takes 5 seconds to make. 5 seconds to make your decision. And from there, of course, is a lot of commitment. But I hope that with this speech, you can see that that commitment will be worth it. So thank you for listening today. I explained some statistics. I expressed the physical and mental effects of excessive screen time. I showed you the benefits of reducing your screen time and some advice on how to tackle it. I hope it was able to get you thinking on your habits and maybe even inspired you to switch it up a little bit. So thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye.